Hi guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, thanks so much. I really appreciate your time. I share videos about life in Switzerland as a black woman because it's a fact a Swiss does not live like me and I do not live like a Swiss. So I share tips about living in Switzerland for foreigners. In today's video, this is a part 2 of a past video. If you've checked my past videos, you'll realize, or you will remember, I shared a video about being paid for legal papers. So I thought I will finish the part 2 of it. If you have not yet checked the part 1, just go back and you will find it there. So guys, how much did my Nigerian husband pay me to give him legal Swiss papers? As I said it in the last video, I had already gotten 2 offers to give somebody legal papers, meaning somebody asked me to marry his friend or his brother or whatever for a prize, and I just thought about it and I thought, oh God, no, it just doesn't work for me. So when I met my ex, I knew people buy and sell papers, and my ex did not have legal papers, so I thought, why not? Anyway, before we go on, please, if you feel uncomfortable with this, feel totally free to move on to other videos. I will understand and respect that. For you who still want to hang around, then let's go on. So I met my husband, and I didn't know, he told me he didn't have legal papers and he had been in Europe for 10 years and all that stuff, and I just thought, oh. Then he explained, yeah, without legal papers, he couldn't go home to visit his family and all that. And I already knew this anyway. Without legal papers, you can't get an apartment, you can't find a job. So I really felt sorry for him, especially when he told me he had not visited his family in 10 years. And I thought, oh, how can anyone do that? I mean, a year has never passed without me visiting my family, and I just couldn't imagine not being able to do it for 10 years. So along the way came the discussion of marriage and all that good stuff, and I thought, why not? But there was still a lot of challenges. My husband didn't have legal papers here, and he didn't have legal papers anywhere. So it was really not easy. And if I had to do it all over again, I think I will really have to think it over very seriously, because it just, I don't even know the right way to say it. But the Swiss government really go into your affairs, into your private affairs. When have you been married? Where have you lived? And it's just a lot of questions. And the worst part is, there is even, the Swiss government even insists, because he was Nigerian, the Swiss government insisted that they had to go to his village to find about if he's a criminal and all that. For those of you who don't know, that's how it is in Switzerland. If you marry a Nigerian, there is, back then it was 1,000 Swiss franc payment for them to go visit his village. So if you're going to marry a Nigerian, know that you or your husband, your future husband, will have to pay 1,000 francs. That's not to mention the other expenses, but The 1,000 francs is for them to go to the man's home or to the woman's home to check if they're married, if they're criminal, and all that. So after all that, after letting the government go into my private business and all that, and a lot of stuff, applying for the marriage license and all that, we got married. If you don't know, I've been married now for 9 years. It's over 9 years, but I've been married for 9 years. If I had to do it all over again, will I do it differently? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, but I will explain as we go on. So after we married, I still couldn't bring my husband here because I had to get him a residence permit, because just being married does not immediately qualify a person for a residence permit. So there is 1 or 2 things for the government to do before they issue the legal papers. But luckily for me, I didn't have bad credit. I didn't have any loans. I didn't have any police report. So my record was perfect. Everything was clean. I just had a clean record in everything. So it made things more or less easy when I was trying to bring my husband here. The only minus is that I wasn't earning enough to take care of 2 people. I was earning enough to take care of 1 person, but I was not earning enough to take care of 2 people. And these are some of the things the government looks very strictly, because they don't want you bringing in a foreigner here. Then they have to start taking care of the foreigner. So that was my biggest challenge, because after being here for so long, I had just reached a point where I thought, I don't have to work to kill myself. I just wanted to work enough to survive, enough to live comfortably. But living comfortably, 1 person was something different. When I got married, it was totally something different. My salary was not enough for 2 people, but still, given that I had a very clean record, I was paying my bills, paying my taxes and all that, my husband did get his residence permit. In Switzerland, when you first come in as a foreigner, they might give you a temporary permit, or they might give you a residence permit. And I was lucky enough, they gave my husband a residence permit and a work permit at the same time. So what he really had to do was to find a job, which it took him a while. I live in the German part of Switzerland, so he had to learn some basic German. But having said that, it doesn't really make a difference if I was in the French part or in the Italian part. They would still have insisted for him to learn the basic language, which he did. After that, he got a job, and we continued with our life. After that, I think it was after 7 years marriage, they gave him a permanent residence permit, which means he only has to renew it every 10 years. And the advantage of that one, they call it Sebewilligung. The advantage of it is that you are allowed to work in a larger space, because with B, the first permit which they give him, you are limited as to where you can work and all that. But with C permission, he was allowed to work in other places. He he can rent an apartment and all that. But with B permission, you have to renew it every year. And for example, if your marriage breaks down when you have a B permission, there is a chance the government will tell you to leave. So I was really happy for him. Not for me personally, but I was happy for him because by then I knew that if something happens to me, then they will not ask him to leave. So now, for the last 2 years, he's had his C permission, which means if something happened to me today, they will not ask him to leave. He's free to rent apartment and all that good stuff. Getting a B permission is hard. You have to renew it every year, but it is already very hard to get. But getting the C permission is like an icing on the cake, I have to say. And now he has C. I'm really happy for him, and it gives you a chance also to work in better places, better paid jobs, because there are some jobs, not some, quite a lot, which will not employ somebody with the B permission. So having a C permission has increased his chances in better paying jobs, in places he can stay or places he can live, and he can do a lot of different things. And yeah, since he got his permission, it has enabled him to visit his family, which he had not done for over 10 years. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud because I feel I'm a part of it. And if it was not me, maybe he would not have had the chance to visit his family because he would not have had the residence permit. Not to mention that he did not even have his Nigerian passport. So we had to do all this. So it was just, it's really a long process, and it takes a lot. It really takes quite a lot, and it's a lot of investment, emotion-wise, financial-wise, time-wise. It just costs a lot. Yeah, as I said, it's been 9 years. He's had his permission. He's now legally here working. He can go back to Nigeria to visit his family. He can have health insurance, something he had never had since he came to Europe. He can just do everything which normal people do. Things that, for me personally, I wouldn't imagine. I don't want to think of how it will be like for me to be here in Europe without any kind of papers, without being able to rent an apartment or to have a job. It is difficult. It is really difficult, and I can understand why people choose to buy papers. I can really understand it because it's just having the legal papers just open a lot of new doors which are closed for people without legal papers. And am I sorry I did it? No, no. I know that some people, especially my friends, like I mentioned in the last video, some of my friends were nasty and all that, but I think that's their loss, not mine. The only part which I just find that makes me sad is that it wasn't really openly discussed and all that, but it just brought a very big strain between me and my family. More or less, I don't even know how to say it. they didn't face me directly and say it, but I'm not stupid. I know when things are not working between me and my family. And since I got married, things have not been working with my family, but it is their laws. If that's what they feel, I'm happy. I couldn't have done it any other way. Do I have any fears? Yeah, I think deep down, you know, you hear a lot of negative stories about Nigerians and about Nigerian men. So I think there is sometimes, not now, let's put it this way, in the past, when he first moved here, I thought, oh, he just moved here for the papers, oh, he will be gone. But who doesn't say a Kenyan man wouldn't walk away from me if we were married? If I was married to a Kenyan. Sorry guys, I have to take a sip of my good drink. Just like any other relationship, I have to work at my marriage with a Nigerian, just like I would work at a marriage if I was married to a Kenyan. Will he leave me because he's Nigerian? I look at it this way. Right from our great-grandfather time, you find that our great-grandfathers were not married across borders, but they got divorced. So, and at the same time, some of you here listening to me, I'm sure maybe your parents or you personally have been divorced, and yet you married your schoolmate, you married your soulmate, you married your village boy, or you married somebody who speaks the same language with you, with the same traditions and all that. So this happens. If he left today, or if my marriage failed today, I will not blame it on intercontinental or international or whatever. I will just say it failed as anything else can fail. I have friends, I have aunties and all that. I'm sure you know somebody whose marriage has failed, yet they speak the same language, they have the same traditions, all that good stuff. Or even somebody whose parents are friends and they got married because their family are friends, and they still got divorced. So I will not say, if I decided to walk away from my marriage today, or if my husband decided to walk away, I will not blame it on him being Nigerian and me being Kenyan. I will just think our time has run its course. Let's call it that way. Because really, as I said, marriages fail. So it will not fail because it's Nigerian. It can fail because it failed, not because it's Nigerian or because I'm Kenyan. Because even here, I've seen Kenyan men or Kenyan women go to bring their spouses from Kenya, or other nationalities go to bring their spouses from their country here, and the marriage still fails. So it's not a question of where you're from and where are you not from. Am I happy? I don't know. What is happiness? That really depends. But I will say it this way. I know that I was looking for my husband since the day I was born. I didn't know it. I only knew it after I met him, but I realized I was looking for him for a very, very long part of my life. So I hope that answers your question. But having said that, it doesn't mean, not for me, not for you, that's general for everyone. Just because, how can I say, just because I love my husband or just because you love somebody does not mean they love you back. It does not mean they love you the same way you love them back. So in general, I can say not only I, but all of us, we can only say, I love this person, but you cannot say, or you can say it, but I find unknowingly, you can say this person loves me. No, I can't know that this person loves me. Or I can say this person loves me, yeah. But in the end, I can confidently say, I love this person. I don't know if it makes sense, yeah. I love this person, but I cannot confidently say this person loves me. We all say it. We all say, yeah, my husband loves me, or yeah, my boyfriend loves me. But I think I feel more confident if I say I love my husband or I love my boyfriend. It's then I know it's unconditionally. I know it came from me. My boyfriend loves me or my husband loves me. That's 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 something totally different, but I can confidently say I love this person. So that's that. Are there any, what do you call it, any difficulties? Yeah, my husband has his culture, I have my culture. So what we do is I try to respect his culture. He tried to respect mine. I don't have to understand or I don't have to agree with his culture, but I can accept it and tolerate it. The ones which I don't understand, I will tolerate and respect. And that way, you find that it makes our relationship work. Yeah, let's call it that way. It makes our relationship work. Um, was it easy for him here in the first place? Uh, I really don't know, but I don't think so. I live in a village. I met my husband when I was living in a village, and I wasn't really ready to move to a city, so I'm sure it was very, very hard for him when he first moved here, because he came from this, I don't know, busy place. Then he came to this small rural area, isolated, and but I think he did well with it, and with the time he managed to find friends and Nigerians, so he's okay with it, and I'm okay with it. This is the place I want to be. So guys, something I had to answer. How much did my Nigerian husband pay me to get him the legal papers? As much as it's hard to understand or accept or believe, my husband did not pay me anything. It was something much more than money. My husband, as I told you, he's the person I have been looking for since I was born. I just didn't know it, and I wouldn't have known it if I had not met him. But I was looking for him since I was born, so I think that's worth more than money. That's valueless. That's priceless. That's yeah. what he offered me is not something you can buy with money. I've never been happier. I don't know, I've been there, I've done that, but I met somebody who I can talk to like I will talk to my heart. I can't give it into words. I will talk to him like I will talk with my heart. He gave me more than money could buy, and he never offered me money in the first place. We never talked about money, and I wouldn't do it any other way. What he gave me was not something money can buy. And if I had to do it again, will I do it the same way? Absolutely. Because I don't know. Yeah, I'll do it all over again. I will do it 100 times over, because yeah, I have what I've been looking for all my life. I have what I hope everybody in life can find. It's not something I can describe or I can write down. I can't explain it in Luo, my language. I can't explain it in Swahili or in English. It's just something you have to experience. That's what he gave me. He didn't pay me in any monetary, whatever way, shape, or form, and we never discussed it, and that's that. But what I got in return is what money cannot buy. Now, having said that, if I still do have my fears and all that and insecurities, but if he chose to walk out today, or if he told me or just did it, and I came home and he was gone, I will have no regrets. But at the same time, I know it in my heart, I will not follow him even for a day to beg. I will not ask him to come back, because that's just how I am. If the relationship did not work today, I will not blame the borders, let's call it that way, or I will not blame the traditions. It will not work because it did not work. But deep down, I know I will just be very grateful for the very, very wonderful years I've had. And I know I will, if he decided to walk away, I will let him walk away in a dignified way. I will never follow him to beg, and I will never ask him to come back. And I know if he walked away, he don't have to try coming back, and I will also not try going to beg or anything like that. So guys, I really hope this answers your questions, and I want other people to know that marrying a Nigerian is not that wild thing you think, or it's not that I don't know, it's not buying papers or selling papers, or oh, he's playing around with me until he decides to go. No, if he chooses to do that, then I'm okay. Then I'm totally okay with that. But apart from that, I'm totally happy, and I couldn't do it any other way. And yeah, I really I thank him for being here. I'm happy. I don't know how he feels because words are cheap. You can say to somebody you feel this way, and yet deep down, you know, you feel differently. So he can only say to me, I feel this way, but deep down he will know how he feel. For me personally, I know I've never been happier. I know I couldn't have done it better. I couldn't have done anything differently. And yeah, I thank God for my decision and for accepting to take the risk. Because really, let's be fair, it was a risk. It was like, oh, you're marrying a Nigerian. So it was a risk, but it was a risk worth taking, and I'm totally happy. So guys, thanks so much, and let's talk next time. Bye bye.